Hello. Welcome to podcast number 1. I'm excited. I am excited to have this first podcast up and going, up and running. I'm sorry about the bags under my eyes, but your boy's grinding, man. And I love to see it. So first and foremost, man, I just wanted to make this podcast kind of an introduction of who I am, what we'll kind of go over, and just a little bit about me. All right, so if I haven't said it already, thank you, everyone. Literally, every single person that's coming here to listen, either if it's on Spotify or YouTube, I appreciate you, man. Like, you're the real MVP. So, basically, let's get I thought I had something on my computer, but let's get running, man. First and foremost, man, I want to say that conducting a podcast and editing and all the other stuff that kind of comes with it, it's something. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's gonna be some tricky situations I can already see that I'm kind of gonna come on to, but that's okay though. That is okay. Like, I'm up for the challenge. I'm ready. Like, let's get it. You feel me? So, without further ado, man, let's get started. So, my name is Emilio Enrique Ortegon. Sorry, sometimes I mispronounce my last name. So, I don't get offended whenever people mispronounce it. It happens all the time. It happened when I was in Little League all the time. And, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, a little bit about me, man. I was born back in 1996. Started playing sports at a real young age. Was raised by a single mom, me and my little brother. And then my dad comes out of prison when I was 21. And so, and if you guys want to know more about that, man, hey, just leave a comment, or questions. Hit me up on my socials, which are going to be Facebook. You can hit me up on my Facebook, which is just Emilio Ortegon. My Instagram, Smoothie with 3 I's at the end. I believe what else socials do I have? I'm on Snapchat, Ortegon_5. And TikTok. Yeah, man, I've been on TikTok lately, man, for real. TikTok, Smoothie X Clips. So Smoothie, the letter X, Clips. Okay, so those are my socials, man. I'm gonna have those in the description if you didn't get that. But anyways, man, let's go ahead and get started for. All right, so played ball, man, growing up, and I pretty much played ball all year round from 4 years old to high school. And that's kind of like what got me my passion of the sports. I got the Green Bay flag right here. We always gonna stay repping. A little more on that in a little bit. Just stay tuned. I promise I'm gonna get to everything. So I guess it was in high school, because it all started with sports. It all started with sports. So when I got to high school, I become playing in a level where it's competitive. It's more competitive, and I wasn't having too much fun. When I got to high school because, like I say, it was too competitive for me, and I just wanted to have fun. And honestly, I think I was just getting burnt out on sports. Sorry, my mouth's already dry. I just started talking. But yeah, man, for those who play sports all their lives, like, I know you definitely kind of feel where I'm coming from. So when I got to the sports aspects of it, it just kind of, high school is like, school sports. Like, it gets old fast, man. So I kind of understand, like, why you see those athletes that don't pursue sports after high school. It's just because it's not them, man, and it's not for everybody. And being an athlete, I always thought that I was going to be somebody after high school to be a sports person. And those who know me personally, you guys will probably think the same thing. And so that was my kind of like my thought my thought process. And so that's why I just kind of, veered off of it. But to get to my point on kind of like the big climax of this podcast is the reason I found who I am was because of sports. Was whenever I got injured. So a little bit about that. I've had 5 concussions, and that's just on record, and so being able to come back from that and really focus on something else, I think I'm most proud of, because being hurt and playing sports, it can hurt you like psychologically, and I didn't let it affect me that way. Well, I'd be lying if I say it didn't affect me, but it sure didn't really have too much of an effect on me, because I instantly found passion for business. Business was something that I really didn't know that I had. And so I was like, whoa, like literally, whoa. I was so intrigued with it. I never really thought about it. Sports was all I knew. And so to have a passion for something else that wasn't, a baseball bat or a basketball or a football, it was cool. And it was something that made me feel what sports made me feel, in a way of that rush, you know what I mean? And that's when I just picked it up, and so after high school, I graduated top 10% in my class, and what I had an opportunity of was to go to MCC. And so MCC is a community college here in Waco, Texas. Most of my viewers are going to know that, but just in case I have any outside viewers, is a community college here in my town. And basically, if I had got top 10%, which I did, I got a full ride. And granted, it's a community school. I can only get up to an associate's, but it was free. And then go to university, or they had universities through the community college. And yeah, I mean, I would have been paying really nothing, and at least paying half of my tuition that I needed to get a bachelor's degree and whatnot. But I ended up going to UTA, University of Texas at Arlington, and I went there for about a year. So when I went to UTA, my first initial major was, I want to say it was kinesiology. Yeah, because I had a passion for fitness. Because I mentioned I got into the business aspect after I was hurt in sports and stuff like that. But I forgot to mention that I started to learn and gain a passion also on the fitness aspect of sports, working out, working out the muscles, working out the body, the anatomy part of it. And, at school I really couldn't do that. So I was using my mom's gym membership like 2 years when I was in high school, so like literally like my sophomore, end of my sophomore year to my senior summer, I was actually using the Go's gym membership, and I never had any problems. They would tell me, "Hey, Ismaila, have a good workout," and I would look back at them and say, "Thanks," like, cause I knew, and I was like, I didn't want them to know, but anyway. Being hurt, I also fell in love with the anatomy of the body, on being physical and the fitness aspect of it. So I quickly merged them into one. That's why I wanted to go to college as a kinesiology major, because I figured, well, why not combine the two, be a trainer, make money while I was doing the fitness part. And so I figured I had the best of both worlds. Well, when I was in college, it didn't seem that way. There was a lot of people in the kinesiology program that wanted to be, a physical therapist or just to be somebody that wasn't my plan, to do. I wanted to take my degree and go more like a fitness personal training route, coach athletes. But the degree was geared towards like physical therapy in hospitals or maybe a PE coach. And I'm like, that might not be for me. So I quickly switched majors my second semester of college, and I did, what did I switch to? I believe I switched to marketing. Well, when I was in college, I'm thankful to have have made some great friends. And one of the dudes that I'm gonna shout out is his name is Davis. So Davis Hong. Sorry if I butcher your name, bro. They know I always butcher their name. It's three brothers: Dennis, Davis, and Dougie. My boy Dougie Fresh. But anyways, three brothers, man, cool as heck. And yeah, those are my boys. So Davis will always tell me, bro, you don't need a marketing degree, or was it Dennis? I don't know. It was one of the brothers. They're like, you don't need a marketing degree, bro. And like, all you really need is this. All you really need is that. And these kids are bright, And so I was like, well, I mean, I want to be in college, right? Like, cause I didn't know any better. Like, I just thought college was the way. Like, it was the way to go, right after high school, go to college, graduate, get a job, boom. And so after that, I was kind of like, well, forget it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna do it, and whatever. We'll call it a day. So that next year, before the year ends, you got to go to your advisors. You got to, talk to them about your classes for the next semester. Well, I wasn't able to enroll because they had told me when I switched majors that I'm going to be taking a different math. So I was like, so I don't need that math that I'm taking now. They're like, no. And I was like, okay. So I stopped going to the class because I was switching majors and I was for sure going to be in the business aspect because I found out that the science aspect of college was not for me. And then coming to find out, I needed to pass that class in order to switch the class. And I'm like, come on, bro. You didn't tell me that. And so I was devastated, man. I went back home to Waco feeling really like I took that L, man. I took an L and I was like, what? This is not me and whatever. So out of nowhere, I hit my cousin up, or I think he hit me up. No, I hit him up because I was looking for a personal training certificate. Something like I can do over the summer while I was waiting to go to MCC because I was like, you know what? I'm going to college. I'm going to finish college. But meantime, let me get a job in my field. Excuse me. And so he was like, yo, and me not even knowing, I did not know that this was going on. He was already planning on opening up a gym out there in Orlando, in Florida. And he was like, look, why don't you come to this school that I went to in Orlando? And then once you do that, then you can come work for me at the gym and, the whole 9 yards. And then I was like, whoa, I don't know about Florida, this and that. Well, that summer, I believe it was summer 2016, my little brother, Joe Angel, a.k.a. Joe Bangs, my boy, he was getting into a little trouble with some friends and, he was being a teenager, and just kind of making not the brightest decisions, if you will. And so my mother was like, you know what? Why don't you go to Florida? Because my uncle out there owns a landscaping business, Marino Landscaping. Shout out to them too. And basically, so he can go out there and work and kind of, toughen them up a little bit in a responsible way, so he can see like what the world really has to offer him. And so he did that. He wasn't really fond of it when he was over there, but in a way, I'm glad he went because he was there, and I wouldn't have made it without him if I was out there in Florida by myself. So really kudos to my brother, man, because he's always been the strongest one out of us two. I'm not even going to lie to you. I might play it off as if I'm strong. I might play it as if I have this, I have that. Like, I'm outgoing, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, not gonna discredit myself, but at the same time, deep down inside, he had it, you know, and so I admired that out of him. And but anyways, so he was there in Florida, and so to get back on track, what my cousin was telling me going to the school over there, I ended up going that fall semester. So my brother got there in the summer, I got there in the fall, and we went to school together in the semester. My brother and he went to Apopka High School, which was out there in Florida, and I went to NPTI, National Personal Training Institute, Orlando. So I did 600 hours within like 4 months. So I was going to school 9 to 5, literally every day. So the way that is, it was kind of rough because it was so much information into one, and you know, it is what it is. I accomplished it. I finished it, and at the same time, I graduated. My brother also was finishing his semester because, was it his senior year? I want to say it was his senior year. So we both came home together before the new year. Oh, before Christmas, actually. So we get back home. He's super excited. Like, I drive 18, 19 hours all the way back from Florida, like a straight shot. We didn't stop. And I just remember looking at him over there and just to the passenger side, and he's just like knocked out, the whole time, almost the whole time, but yeah, basically. And then yeah, so that's when I became a personal trainer in the business. So I quickly learned that personal trainers don't get really paid. They don't get paid much. You can get paid much. You can. It's all about location. It's all about reputation. It's all about who you know. It's all about, honestly, your skill and your experience. That's when you can make a living out of it. You'll get paid the most, and I learned it when I was in school. You'll get paid the most by working for yourself. But honestly, that's in anything. But that was like my first little glimpse of the business part. And around the same time when I was looking into fitness, I watched a lot of YouTube videos. And so me being on YouTube, I experienced people doing YouTube videos, such as vloggers. This is back in 2016 when vlogging was kind of like becoming popular. Like, some of the top vloggers popped off in 2016. Like, that's when it became like the thing, like right now people trying to podcast. Vlogging was 2016, and people still vlog now, but like it was the train, like Logan Paul, Jake Paul. I mean, those are really the big main ones for me. Like David Dobrik, and like literally all who I just mentioned, like their entourage, like they were all vlogging as well. Like it legit was the move for YouTube, at least. And so I started watching, so I started watching Logan Paul, right? I didn't know he had a little brother or nothing like that. So then Joe Angel, he was actually watching Jake Paul. And I'm like, who you watching, bro? He looks like the dude I watch, which is Logan. And he was like, yeah, it's his little brother. I was like, what? So I'm over here watching Logan Paul, the older brother. He's over there watching the younger brother, Jake Paul. And we just started trying to make videos, And I think that's when I tried to start vlogging too. So that's when I first started trying to do YouTube. And I did that for a little bit. And when I moved back to Florida for a little bit to work on the gym, I didn't really have any friends out there. So vlogging really kind of kept me sane because I really missed home a lot. Remember one morning I woke up crying, I don't want to get into it, but vlogging kind of helped me. And also being like some type of creator that helped me as well. So I I came back to Texas and I tried to vlog again, keep on vlogging, but it was kind of tough because I didn't feel the need to, when really it was easier for me to vlog because I had way more support. You know, I didn't really have to do much, and I also had people to record with. But I think I had found it more interesting to be out uncomfortable to vlog that, and I thought that was more entertaining. I don't know. Sometimes you can get in your head, and I encourage don't get in your head and just do it. You know, like I'm doing this podcast right now. I mean, I'm just kind of winging it, but at the same time, you probably didn't even know. But yeah, I'm gonna be learning. I'm gonna upgrade equipment and all that good stuff. So like, you know, bear with me. It's the first one. um, but yeah. So, and then I get back to Texas, like I mentioned, and I get into personal training again. And I found a boxing gym to train at, but not just any boxing gym, you know, not the one you spar at, but more of like a boxing boutique style gym. That was more of my flavor. That was more of my my forte. You know, getting those people in that don't really know about the boxing fitness, but also don't want to get in the ring. And so that was me, because I was more of a personal trainer, not a boxer, but I knew the skill of doing mitts and boxing workouts. If that makes any kind of sense, that was kind of my role. So if you see me in the boxing atmosphere, or you think I'm a boxer, I'm not. I just kind of know how to do mitts, punch a bag, and kind of do those kind of, you know, workouts. And yeah, ever since then, man, like I just wanted to be an entertainer. You know, even like having the personality to be a trainer, you have to have some kind of persona of like making people laugh, making people smile, and just be entertaining. Honestly, you do have to be, because if you're a boring trainer, I'm gonna be honest with you, they're not going to be happy with you, and they're not going to have a good workout. And that's just the sheer nature of the beast, and it is what it is, you know. So I kind of took that into like everything I did. So that's when I got into video games. You know, it kind of, everything kind of started with sports. Okay, sports didn't work out. What else? And then, you know, like a little domino effect. And I'm trying to get to the point to where I'm trying to tell you that I kind of found my passion. So, but before I get there, I'll talk a little bit more about a couple more things. We're almost there. And so video games, you know, I didn't know that there was a career in that. I never played video games. Like my little brother, he was the video game guy. You know, he would be the one, Mom, can I stay home from school? I don't feel good, and be on the game like all week. And I'd be like, man, get out the game, you're not sick, blah blah. And but it's whatever. So yeah, when I got into video games, it was even weird for me. And I told myself, I'm like, you know what, if I'm gonna play video games, I'm gonna try to make money off of it, you know. And I started streaming. People probably didn't know I started streaming, but I probably started streaming back in like 2018. But it was just off like my console. So it wasn't really nothing major. Like I've always wanted to grow, but I didn't really take it too serious like that. Like you probably see now, you know, like on Facebook and stuff like that. You know, okay, shout out to my Smoothie Gaming channel. Hey, if you're not following that, hey, go ahead. But yeah, I just didn't really take it too serious like I do now. And I think that's pretty much it before I get to the nitty gritty. So for those who may not know, my little brother passed away February 7th, 2020. And it'll be a year literally in a couple weeks. So it's going to be some type of feeling for me. And I never thought in a million years that like this would happen to me. And I never thought really that like I would. I don't know. I'm still dumbfounded, man. To be honest with you, I I have my moments. I have my moments where like, you know, not that I forget, but like I feel like he's just kind of at work maybe, or he's out of town maybe, and I'm grinding as well because I want to get into that our and like our relationship, me and him, and that's why I feel like at moments I handle a little bit better than some of my family members because of the relationship that my brother and I had. You know, me and him were the type to have the same motivation to be at this tier level of our lives of success, and like, you know, whatever success means doesn't mean to be the richest person on earth or whatever, just what we wanted to do, like basically reach our goals. And I still have text messages to this day in my phone, you know, but it was like we had this like this energy with each other, you know. He's at work, right? And I know he's at work, so I know he's working. And like I might be off of work a little bit earlier and I'm grinding on the game, trying to, you know, just play the game, make clips and put it on YouTube or whatever. But then like when he got home, I remember all the time, like he'd come into my room and be like, "Hey, what's up, bro? What you doing?" I look back like, bro, I'm just gaming, you know, just chilling. You know, and it was, that was like our relationship. I'm grinding in my corner and my niche, and he's grinding in his. But we both knew that if we needed each other, then like that was no doubt. Feel me? And that's kind of like with the next thing that I want to get into, and I might get emotional, and I'm sorry. And but when I hear stories about them from other people, and like when I hear, you know, just people telling their stories, and it doesn't happen all the time, but there's just like some times where, you know, I do wish that like I do wish that we would experience more things together. But I don't regret anything that we've done. So I don't I don't I don't mean this in like any type of way at all. But there's sometimes where I envy those stories because I just wish that it was me living those moments with him. I'm sorry. But I know that there's one event that happened, and that's when I know for sure that all those negative thoughts that I have in my head, all that other stuff, it's not true. And to get to the point, there was a moment where he came into my room, like I mentioned earlier. He always come and check up on me, and I wasn't gaming that time. I was studying. I was writing on my notebook. And then like a couple of days later, if not the next day, I go into his room because he was always gaming at the time. And I see him doing the same thing with his notebook. And at that moment, I knew that I did have an impact on my brother. And I was a good brother. And that he looked up to me, even though we didn't tell each other all the time. I knew that our love was always something. And that's gonna forever be everything. I promised. The day I left the scene of the crime scene, I promised myself and him from that day forward, I said, bro, from this day forward, I'm living my life for you. And that's not meaning I'm going to neglect all my dreams. He knows what I meant when I said that. It means basically everything that I do is through him. He's giving me the willpower to do the stuff that I never had the courage to do, or that I think about stuff too much, about what people think about if I'm going to succeed or not, or people are going to watch this, or people are going to listen. Like, all that went away because, and this is the whole purpose of this podcast, and I'm going to close on this, but there's nothing in this world that you can't do, literally. If it's positive enough for it to make you feel some kind of happiness, yo, you got to follow that, man. Like, you literally only have one life, and that's like 1 in a billion chances of you even breathing right now. So, like, go for it. But in closing, I do want to appreciate every single person that has ever, like, gave me a hand. Not a handout, but has gave me a hand. See, there's a difference. Always work for yourself, to better yourself, and don't be afraid to accept help. And, you know, in later podcasts, I'll probably talk about other stuff that's happened in my life. I didn't cover everything. Just kind of wanted to do a brief of what this podcast is going to bring, what this podcast really means to me, and what I really want to bring to the table for the listeners out there. I love all my family, man, and I appreciate every single person who's always invested in me, who's always believed in me, even at some moments you probably thought you didn't know what I was doing. I appreciate you for never like stopping. Okay. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and close on that. I know I probably cut it off short. I know I probably missed a couple things, but yo, I'm telling you, there's a lot more into this podcast, and I just kind of wanted to give it a little teaser. Kind of wanted to get an episode out already, so you guys aren't waiting too long. So, as always, stay positive, stay blessed, get ready for the next episode. I'm going to keep y'all up to date. If you're not following my socials, again, I'm going to have it in the description. So, peace and love, baby.